We are in eclipse season, and I hope that this recent Pisces eclipse went well for you. Now we are about to embark on yet another Libra Aries axis eclipse. In this video, I'm going to give you a general overview first, which is where you're going to get all of the juice about the aspects and the way that the energy of this moon is going to show up. And then the sign by sign is more so you can put that information into the themes that will show up specifically in your chart. One of the things that I want to point out is Venus. Pay extra attention to when I talk about Venus and which house it's showing up for you and which energy it can create, because this is where the pleasure and the gifts of the energy playing out is going to be. So this is where you can focus your energy and get more joy out of your relationships with other people overall. This eclipse is happening October 2nd at 11:48 a.m. Pacific time, 10 degrees Libra. So if you have any personal planets around that mark or around 10 degrees in Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries, this is going to be a really significant time for you, and you're going to see more of the external results of this eclipse. For everybody, this is going to be a powerful time of fated transformation and situations that show up either inside of us or outside of us to help guide us towards what we ultimately want out of life. Libra is about relationships, and there are some other configurations in the sky right now that speak to relationship stuff too. So I think that this has the power to be very healing when it comes to wounds around connection, balance within connection, because it's Libra, and Libra ultimately rules balance and partnership. Libra is a sign that is a peacemaker and avoids conflict for the sake of peace and balance, but also can see all sides of a situation and can fight for the underdog. With a new moon, a solar eclipse new moon in Libra, these topics are going to be highlighted. Fairness, peacefulness, tranquility, connection, balance, love, and beauty. And it's an air sign, as well as being conjunct to Mercury right now. So this is a lot of communication coming through. This is a time where words really have the power to change something. Communication with people where there is an imbalance has the potential to be released and let go at this time. If you don't feel like your connections are creating a mental and communicative balance within them, this is a time where they either need to change or you're going to make way for new people to come in that really fit what you're looking for. This eclipse has beautiful aspects. I think it's a lot to look forward to. Eclipses can have an intensity to them, an intensity that brings about change, and change can be uncomfortable. But this eclipse is doing its best job to keep everybody happy. There is a beautiful grand trine happening between Mars, Venus, and Saturn. This, to me, amplifies the relationship component to it. Mars and Venus are our divine feminine and divine masculine. Venus wants beauty and pleasure and art and everything that is a soothing Venusian experience, whereas Mars wants things quick and abrupt and can be the god of war. Mars initiates and Mars is passionate. Saturn slows things down. Saturn wants us to make sure that we do everything to the book, that we don't miss any steps, that we learn tough lessons when it comes to probably Venus and Mars related things, this push and pull of pleasure and ease and quick and passionate. Saturn can also create longevity in this grand trine. And that's the benefit of Saturn slowing things down and making sure that we are calculated and doing things the right way this time. If I put all three of those together, to me, that is a beautiful balance of what each of them can offer. Mars is in a bit of a square to this moon, and that's one of the energies that can create very abrupt change and very passionate change. This is an all or nothing type of feeling, and it comes down to our communication because of this close connection with Mercury and the South Node on the other side of the moon, which means there's a loss, there's a letting go, a release, and a discharge of energy. And this discharge of energy could mean something material in our life that has to go in order to make room for what's better coming in. And then we have Jupiter off to the side in a sextile to Chiron. So all of this is about wound healing to some degree. Jupiter is coming in to maybe expand this injured feeling first and then create a healing atmosphere. Overall, I love this eclipse. I think that there's a lot to look forward to. I hope that everybody feels some of this positive energy that's floating around, even if life can feel chaotic around eclipse time. Thank you so much for being here, watching, commenting, subscribing, liking. It really is so fun to chat with you in the comments. So let me know what's going on with you in the chats below. And now let's get into the sign by sign. Hi, Scorpio. This is a new moon in your 12th house. So this is a brand new beginning when it comes to working with subconscious material. This could be a brand new beginning that involves something that is still not quite tangible, not quite seen. The 12th house in the zodiac is your blind spot. This is maybe something that you were unaware of, a hidden potential that can come to the surface, and maybe to do with relationships and the time you spend in psychic communication, the time that you spend being really aware of the energetic exchange between you and another person, and the time you spend tucked away outside, away from the rest of the world. This is bedroom time as well. This is sleep and rest. So with sleep and rest, you might be prioritizing those things differently over the next year and creating space for more energetic work, like going within, meditation, time alone, and reorganizing your energy as it relates to other people. That is one of the best ways to maintain your vitality when you are out in the rest of the world. So this 12th house work I find to be really important. And if our energy is in tune with the vibration that we want to embody, then we can go out into the world and feed the world with more beautiful energy. I caught this really great reminder today about some of the studies that have been done about meditation and our own frequency, and that when there has been a group of people meditating for a week, crime and shootings and death and disasters go down in the world. It was just such a good reminder of how much of a strong effect our energy has on the people around us and the whole world. And that, I think, is going to be a big part of the awareness and the work that you're doing around this eclipse. I love this grand trine energy for Scorpios. You have Venus in your sign, so you are looking good. This is a great time to get haircuts, buy new clothes, do things that support your appearance and the way that you show up in the world, because that is a reflection of our energy too. And you're going to be getting really positive energy. Sometimes eclipses maybe could be a bit of a wonky energy to do something permanent like a tattoo or other physical changes. But to me, this looks lovely because of the grand trine. This is also activating your 9th house and 5th house. You are going to be feeling very motivated to learn. Maybe you have a teacher that comes in and just really shifts your perspective, and this is part of the bigger journey. You could be very passionate about the things that you believe in. And Saturn in your 5th house could be slowing down some creative steps or dampening your joy a little bit. You're putting a lot of structure around joy and hobbies and sports and self-expression. And maybe this is part of a reworking that you are doing overall when it comes to mindset and energy and your spiritual beliefs. So if you're feeling a bit of restriction when it comes to that joy, playful side of you, it will be back. And because it's part of the grand trine, I think that this eclipse also has the potential to shift some of that energy that you probably have, feeling a bit of a roller coaster of creativity and self-expression. Days where you can soar and days where you're just feeling like you can't tap into yourself. And it's those challenging days, the days that we can't tap into ourselves, that bring an opportunity to reorganize and shift something. It's when we struggle to access that creative joy inside of ourselves that we often find tools to amplify it even more. So that's the benefit of Saturn being in this part of your chart. It looks like you're getting a lot of support from other people, and there could be an expansion of resources coming from others, and not necessarily what you are earning on your own, that's helping you take potentially more rest and more time to yourself. This looks like a wonderful shift, whatever it is that's showing up for you, Scorpio. Let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to process some of these intense changes with an astrology reading, which is actually a wonderful 12th house eclipse thing to do, check out my link in the description, and would love to see you for a live Zoom call. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Hi, Sag. This is an 11th house eclipse for you. So this is changes when it comes to your networks, your community, your audience. This could be a brand new beginning or an ending with connections. And these are not necessarily your close one-on-one friendships, but the greater networks that you connect with. Because this is a new beginning, this is a great opportunity to expand those networks and to really have a different intention around communication and balance. Because Libra rules this part of your chart, you naturally attract people that probably bring a great relationship balance to you. They are, though, going to be reflecting what it is that you put out there, and I think that's what's changing. With the grand trine for you, Venus is in your 12th house, so this could be a time where romantic relationships or relationships in general, the love, the creativity, it is either very intuitive and happening behind the scenes, or it's feeling a bit closed off in your life. And this is just temporary. This beautiful trine energy could activate it. So if love has been something that feels like it's hard to access in your life right now, whether that is just the love for and joy that you have for your life, or the love that you have for other people, it doesn't matter what kind of love, but if that has been harder to access, this is an energy that could spark that up a little, especially with Mars being involved. And whatever shows up that is connected to your psychic abilities and romance and subconscious material, Mars could be cutting out old patterns of subconscious material, and Saturn could make sure that the changes are here to stay. Saturn could also bring up tough lessons around love and romance and pleasure and art and beauty that are going to help you down the road have more of those things. So if you do feel like you're faced with any challenges around those topics, don't worry. These challenges are going to help you do whatever work is needed to get more of that throughout the year as this eclipse plays out. Topics of home and family and where you came from and support from other people, as well as psychological healing, psychological reversals, death and birth and death and rebirth of some kind. These are all part of that grand trine picture for you too. And I think part of the story of waking up more love and pleasure. The 4th house and the 8th house, these are also areas where it can dredge up some old family pain, and that is connected to the subconscious material that's holding you back, that is really getting a burst of release and is going to shift those connections around you in a beautiful way. Saturn retrograde in your 4th house, you might be going over some lessons that have to do with home and family, where you came from and your inner world. With Venus making this lovely aspect from your 12th house, this could be some downloads that are very healing and bring an aspect of pleasure to the tough lessons or the restructuring that you're doing in your internal world. I really think a lot of it speaks to restructuring, and that can sometimes be a tough lesson, but you're going to be focusing a lot on your psyche, a lot on your subconscious, and it's going to be transforming your internal world in a big way. You also might have support from other people that comes in very quickly, or you could have a support leave, but this also has a beneficial energy to it in the big picture. Overall, so these beautiful trine energies speak volumes at the time of this eclipse, but this is overall going to be about changing the people around you, and you could be one of those people too that's really changing your energy, and that changes your outer world or just changes the energy for the world, which is a really beautiful thing. Thank you so much for being here, Sag. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and love seeing what's going on for you in the comments below. If you would like to process with a one-on-one reading with me, you can check out my website link in the description, and I will see you next time. Hi Capricorn. This is a 10th house new moon for you. So a solar eclipse in the 10th house is a fated change around your status, your reputation, your career, your visibility in the world. And you have Venus in your 11th house. So I think about the 11th house as the larger networks. They are the people who are watching you. They are the audience. They are the ones that feed this public reputation and this 10th house image that you're creating. But with an eclipse, you are not. Some of this energy is creation that you have been manifesting for a while, and this change is coming up as a result of work that you've already put in. You could be getting communication from something to do with career that, because of the South Node, is an ending and a purging or releasing of something to do with career related things, maybe losing one job to start a next. This beautiful Grand Trine activation is also activating your partnership house and your 3rd house of siblings, relatives, aunts, uncles, short distance travel, transportation, mindset. Looks like friends and other people, partnerships, family, siblings. There's a lot of beautiful influence from others in this energy. And that overall is influencing the eclipse in your 10th house. Watch for that. Watch for how other people are responding to your energy these days, how other people are reflecting back what you're showing them. This looks like a time where there could be more passion in partnerships. Mars can also cause conflict and arguments here, but because it's in a beautiful angle, I don't see that being the case. And if it is, it's the type of argument that gets you to a really lovely place in your partnerships afterwards. Venus in the 11th house can also be wishes and dreams coming true. And there could be some short distance travel that you need to change or restructure or adjust in some way. Or maybe you're just slowing down on short distance trips that you used to have to do for work, and now you don't have to travel as much for work, and that's part of the job shift that's happening. There are lots of possibilities here for you, Capricorn. This one is where I really want to see some comments below and hear what's going on for you, because it's a big mixed bag. Pluto is in its 29th degree in Capricorn. So it's not something that I'm talking about for most signs in this eclipse, but it's significant for you because you're wrapping up this bigger story since 2008. And if you didn't see my Pluto in Capricorn video, I will link that down below too. And that will give you more information on that until November 18th. But you're finishing a big transformation, and an eclipse in your 10th house feels very fitting that your reputation and what you're doing out in the world is ready for a big overhaul and upgrade too. Enjoy this beautiful energy, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. And if you would like to process with a one-on-one live Zoom call with me, you can check out my link in the description below and book a reading there. I'll see you next time. Hello, Aquarius. This eclipse is happening in your 9th house. So this is a brand new beginning in your views of the world. This could be foreign places, foreign people, foreign concepts. And these foreign places, if it has to do with travel or foreign people, it is about bringing in new ideas and a fresh perspective on how you view the world. This can bring in a new teacher that really changes your perspective, and this could be higher learning of any kind. So you might be starting a new program or starting schooling that really benefits you for the rest of your life, but especially you're going to feel those changes in the upcoming year. This Mars, Saturn, Venus trine is happening in your 6th house, your 10th, and your 2nd. So Mars is activating a lot of powerful energy with health, and it can bring more inflammatory conditions. This is to bring attention and awareness to things that need to change with habits, with the way that you manage your day-to-day activities. And this is work, so you could have a lot of work. You could be very busy, very motivated, very passionate about day-to-day changes and what you want your days to look like. Because this is such beautiful energy and it involves restructuring, but it involves Venus, this is beauty and creativity that you put out in the world. Venus is in your 10th house, and so people are seeing you as this beautiful, creative, pleasurable energy. So use that to your advantage around this time. And Saturn in your 2nd house is encouraging you to be very disciplined with what you value, with how you treat your body, what you spend your money on. This goes really well with the 6th house activation. So your self-worth and how you treat yourself and how you use your energy has a lot to do with your day-to-day activity. And this beautiful energy from Venus at the top of your chart is really putting this soothing energy over it all. So even if something uncomfortable shows up, you have the support from Venus to make it more of an enjoyable change. You have Jupiter in your 5th, so this is really supporting creativity and pleasure and enjoyment out of life too. I think Aquarians are going to be having fun at the time of this eclipse, and it's that fun and that ability to change what you value and change some of your perspectives that is going to bring more pleasure throughout the year. Let me know what changes are showing up for you when it comes to your beliefs around the world and the wisdom that you have about how the world works, and maybe teachers that are coming in to show you how things can be. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's so much fun to chat with you and hear about what's going on around these big change times. And if you would like to process through an astrology reading, which can be a lovely 9th house activity, maybe you're starting astrology yourself, but I do live Zoom calls, and you can check out my website link in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye, Pisces. This is an 8th house solar eclipse for you. So this is a brand new beginning when it comes to intimate connections with other people. This can be deep transformation around your psyche and a big time for purging anything in your body, anything energetically, anything psychologically that can make room for a new beginning and a new transformation. The results of transforming this part of your life can be that you end up getting more support from other people. Or this can be a brand new beginning with some sort of support from a significant partner or resources from others. This beautiful grand trine is involving Saturn in your sign, and Saturn in Pisces has probably at times been challenging with restructuring who you are, but around this time, I think you're going to enjoy what you've learned from Saturn and what you're able to use Saturn for when it comes to discipline and energetic protection and getting things done, slowing things down to follow the steps to really create what you want and to make sure that the tools that you have are supporting you in the most optimal ways. Venus is in your 9th house of perspective, so it's your mindset and your beliefs about the world that are starting to create beautiful energy with this Saturn. You're probably seeing Saturn less as a restrictive energy and more as something that is creating definition and support in your life. And Venus in your 9th house also looks like it's bringing more creative energy into your life and sending beautiful vibrations to Mars in your 5th house, which is making you feel more passionate about being yourself. And that's the benefit that Saturn can bring too, is that you've created this structure that's really supporting your energy and who you are as a person and the work that you want to do in this world. And that's a great container to enhance creativity and enhance authentic self-expression, so you can really be who you are and show the world who you are, which is something that Pisces, and you might have different energy in your chart that makes this show up differently, but Pisces energy is not necessarily the most on display of what they're seeing and what they're processing in the world. So you have a tendency to absorb everything and really tune into a lot of things, but you don't necessarily express that to others, what you're seeing. And this could be a time where you're starting to do that more. Maybe you're traveling overseas and you're having a beautiful experience of expanding your mind with different places and different people and things that have been quite foreign to you, and that's really fueling your creativity. Somehow this is all playing into a role of transformation of psyche as well. Jupiter in your 4th house is beautifully activating Chiron in an easy way in your 2nd house. So your self-worth is also amplified and your internal world is expanding as well. So this is all the energy that makes me really think that you are expressing more of yourself in general. And that exchange of energy with you and others is allowing more foreign energy to come into your field and create with that too. And maybe new teachers and people that are helping bring even more perspective changes to you. This would be a great time to take an education of some kind. You would really get joy and pleasure out of it. It could be the beginning of resources from others too, because that's ultimately what this eclipse has going on for you in a physical way, and in a mental and emotional way that's going to be more about your psyche. Enjoy this transformation, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing, and if you would like a one-on-one live Zoom call with me, check out my website link in the description below, and would love to see you there for more processing. Also wonderful 9th house stuff to do. I'll see you next time. Hi Aries. This is a partnership new moon for you. So this is all about a brand new beginning in your significant partnerships. This could be when a marriage partner comes into your life. This could be when a partner that has been contractually based leaves your life. That will really depend on what each one of you is going through. The 7th house does relate to marriage partners. It relates to business partners, and it relates to significant long-term contractual agreements that you have with other people in this world. You have been going through this eclipse season for quite some time now. We are finally wrapping up a 2-ish year eclipse season in the Aries Libra axis, and that will be the finale in March of 2025. But we're getting close to the end, and so the changes that you have been going through with yourself and a significant other person are a really big deal, and you have likely been putting a lot of focus on that. This beautiful grand trine is putting a lot of passionate energy into your internal world, into your home life. This can sometimes be frustration or conflict, but because it is in beautiful communication for this moon, I think that it's going to be more on the passionate side, more that your focus is going to be around home-related matters, and actually for quite some time, because Mars is retrograding in Cancer. So we're going to have a lot of Mars in your 4th house all the way until next spring. So pace yourself here, pay attention to what is going on in your home life, and the lessons or the energy that's playing out will be all that much smoother. Venus in your 8th house to me sounds like you are really enjoying deep intimacy with your partner, and that is what is creating more passion inside your internal world and in your home life. Saturn in your 12th could be restructuring the time that you spend in retreat. There could be maybe less time for rest right now. You have some restriction around that, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you're feeling a little bit closed off to your subconscious, or with the activation that's happening right now with this grand trine, it could be activating something in your subconscious that has otherwise been restricted by Saturn for a little while or slowed down, but you're doing some energetic subconscious work here too. And that could be part of what happens with all of this relationship focus. There's nothing like a significant partnership to really activate some of the things that we didn't realize were affecting our choices from the background and affecting our perspectives. This is a great energy for abundance and wealth for your partner, and that's supporting you and supporting your ability to rest and retreat and have more time at home and passion at home. So that could be another way that Venus in your 8th house shows up. I really like what Venus is doing here for you. However that's playing out, let me know in the comments below. Venus is bringing a very lovely energy to this overall dynamic. And Jupiter in your 3rd house, there's communication that seems to be healing any wounds that you have about yourself. And that's part of this balance that you've been working on with Chiron in your 1st house and the eclipses happening on the 1st and 7th axis with another person. Like what Jupiter and Venus are doing during this eclipse, and whatever is going on in your relationships, and digging up some of this deeper energy that looks like it's showing up for you. It's blessed with the support of Venus and Jupiter overall. So don't worry about uncomfortable things coming up. This looks like a beautiful energy to dig it up, and it's just going to make your relationships that much richer and deeper, and you're going to feel more connected to your partners. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing and commenting below. I really want to hear what's going on in your life right now, Aries, as you're going through this intense eclipse. And if you would like some processing through astrology, check out my website link in the description below, and I would love to see you there for a live Zoom call. I'll see you next time. Hi Taurus. This is a 6th house eclipse for you. So your day-to-day life is changing in some way. Your health, your habits, your work. This is fated, and Somebody, an employee could be coming into your life that's really helpful. Maybe you're losing an employee first and then gaining a new one or more that fit your business all that much better. There could be something to do with health that has to go and make room for something new. Because Mercury is here, I think this has a lot to do with communication and mindset in a day-to-day way. How do you communicate with others in a way that supports your health, in a way that supports your work, and in a way that supports how you run your day and what you want that to look like? This beautiful grand trine energy for you is happening in partnerships, it's happening with friendships, and it's happening in your community, in your close networks. It's happening with neighbors and siblings. There's some passion there. So there might even be a conflict that shows up with a neighbor or a sibling, and that somehow is not, if it's conflict based, it's not going to be a threatening one overall. It's just going to be something that overall makes your relationships better and stronger and more pleasurable, especially significant partnerships, and part of restructuring your overall audience and networks and community. This Mars in your third house is here for quite some time with neighbors and siblings and short distance travel. This is transportation, and this is your day-to-day mental activity. This is how you use your mind to get things done. There are so many possibilities with how this grand trine can show up for you, but this is a lot about other people for you, Taurus. This is how you manage your networks and how you manage the people in your life, the ones you love the most, and how that communication flows, and how much room do you make for those people in your day-to-day life. Maybe that's something that's changing. Maybe you need to spend more time on yourself, or maybe you need to spend more time with others, and that's what's going to shift around this eclipse time. Maybe you're just working less overall, and less work allows you to put more energy into these relationships, and that's why there's this beautiful grand trine that's activating the houses that have to do with people in your life. Jupiter in your second house can bring a lot of abundance, so I hope you're enjoying that energy between Venus and Jupiter's beautiful contributions to the energy at the time of this moon. It looks like money and relationships are going really well for you, Taurus, and relationships could even be feeding your self-worth. Maybe even the way that you're changing your day-to-day life and your work life and your habits is benefiting your health and self-worth with Jupiter in the second. That could be what you eat and how you nourish your body and how you take care of yourself. And when you're taking care of yourself, that also influences the people around you and has a really positive feedback effect in how much energy you have for others and how much they're feeding back to you too. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. Thank you for liking and subscribing, commenting. I'd love to hear how this is showing up for you. And if you would like to process more through astrology, check out my website link in the description below. And I will see you next time. Hi, Gemini. This is a 5th house solar eclipse for you. So this is a faded, fresh start when it comes to creativity, your God-given talents, the expression of who you truly are. This overlaps with true love and children. This could be any of these topics, even hobbies, coming in and out of your life in a faded way. The South Node connection here could mean that faded experiences from a past life come through, or there's a type of release that allows for something new to come in. Mercury here too could mean that there is news of something new that's developing, or that you're expressing your creativity more. You're motivated and driven to express this side of yourself. This is really fitting with the grand trine that's happening with Mars, Venus, and Saturn. This is happening in your 2nd house and your 6th house and 10th house. Venus is the ruler of this eclipse, and being in your 6th house could mean that there is a lot of day-to-day prep to do related to this eclipse for you. You might have to change daily habits, daily routines, the structure of your day, and because this is beautiful energy, you are happy to do this. You're prepared and willing. And the Saturn in your 10th house is a shift or restructuring with your career and your reputation. This can be more of a restricting component, but again, I don't see it being too challenging because it's in a lovely angle in this grand trine to Venus and Mars. So something about work and the hard work you're putting into your career and image and the discipline required around that is helping filter into your day-to-day tasks. Now, this Mars piece is all about what you value. You're probably feeling really motivated and inspired by aligning with your values. And that is also feeding into this career and reputation component and your day-to-day efforts right now. I see this really syncing up for you, and you're probably feeling really good and motivated about treating your body in a different way. Maybe some things have to get cut there with what you spend your money on and the foods that you intake. You might be finding that there's some inflammatory reaction to certain foods that you didn't have before or that you were not aware of. But again, you're happy to make these changes and create a shift with these topics. This is a really beautiful energy for you overall, Gemini. You are still rolling with Jupiter in your 1st house, so all year from June until next June, you're experiencing blessings and expansion of the tools that you have to offer this world, and just really could be any aspect of your life. There's a component of some lovely and easy wound healing when it comes to your networks, long held wishes coming true, community, the people that surround you and support you. I feel like this energy is so smooth that you might not even notice it, but because I wanted to talk about Jupiter with you Geminis, I figured it was worth mentioning there. But the big stuff is going to be overall about 5th house matters. This is a beautiful house to have a brand new beginning in that's going to last all year long. It's going to just bring more joy, more creativity, and more pleasure and fun to your life in whichever way this shows up for you. Let me know in the comments below what is going on in your world, Gemini. Love hearing from you. And if you would like to process and understand more from the perspective of your personal chart, reach out to me. My website link is in the description, and we can do a live Zoom call and chat more about specifically you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Hi, Cancer. This is a 4th house solar eclipse for you. This is the house of Cancer, and this is the house of home, our internal worlds, mothers, nurturing. This is the environment that you grew up in and some of the deeper, more hidden aspects of yourself that the rest of the world doesn't necessarily see. So there are a lot of things that are covered here for you in this eclipse too, but this is a fated shift, and there could be something that needs to be let go around home and family. There could be something that is coming in from a past life around home and family that's very fated and destined for you. And with Mercury here, there's going to be more communication and more mental activity around home-related matters, which is lovely for you, Cancer, because this is your domain. Now, I'm very curious about Mars in your sign. This is a longer transit that is going to be all the way until April. But for the point of this specific eclipse, there is more potential frustration and passion and just a lot of pent-up energy that you're likely dealing with and uncovering around this time. It's making a challenging aspect to this moon, which can create abrupt changes in the home by your initiation, or the frustration and the anger and the passion and the excitement that's building up inside of you is having a very abrupt effect on your home life and your internal world. This Mars energy is just one piece of an otherwise very beautiful, easy sky. But this is no small piece in some ways, because Mars in your sign, especially for this extended journey that it's on, is going to feel like a lot sometimes. But don't worry, because right now there is a lot of other protective energy, and one being this beautiful grand trine that is showing up for you. This grand trine is connected to Mars, so it softens it with aspects from Venus in your 5th house, which is fun and pleasure and joy and true love and children. This is incredible energy to have connected to this Mars. So I see this Mars potentially being more passion for you than anger, but they come from the same root when we're talking about astrological energy. And then Saturn in your 9th house. This Saturn retrograde here is really solidifying your beliefs about the world. This can bring a teacher who has maybe even tough lessons for you about foreign places, foreign concepts. Saturn can be a tough teacher, but I see this more as just forcing you to solidify what you believe in and create structure around your otherwise very open 9th house, being Pisces ruled. You might find that historically you've had a very open mindset and you can understand where everybody's coming from and you see everybody's perspectives, and that's probably still true. There's something that's hardening in this part of your chart. It's really solidifying. It could be here for a long time, and it has to do with things that are unfamiliar to you. This also is higher wisdom and education systems. So you might actually be in school and have a tough teacher, or there are experiences of travel and exploring other cultures or other perspectives that are a piece of this. Now, the easy aspects to Venus and Mars tell me that even though the teacher may have been tough, for this specific eclipse, it's really coming in as a beneficial energy. And it's really helping support this joy and true love and all that Venus wants to do in your 5th house, play and just enjoy this childlike energy. And then it's really amping up your own personal energy. So Cancer, let me know how this is showing up for you. This is a very interesting mixed bag, but again, you're another sign where I think this is lighting up in such a beautiful way, and I want to hear all about it. If you would like to process more with your personal chart, you can check out my website link in the description below and book a live Zoom call with me where we chat more about how this is showing up specifically for you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely eclipse season, and I will see you next time. Hi, Leo. This is a 3rd house solar eclipse for you. So this is a brand new beginning in your communication, your short distance travel with siblings, with close relatives. This is media and communication of all kinds. I recently started thinking about this as your sense of humor as well. So there is a fated new beginning when it comes to these topics. Now this can show up in so many different ways. So let's put the pieces together of what you can expect in your life. But essentially, communication. There's something that you are on the precipice of a fated change around. And if you work in media or writing, this is a really big deal for you. You could be getting a connection with someone from the past that enhances your writing or media projects, Or you could be releasing something to make room for a brand new beginning in this area of your life. Maybe media and writing of some kind has been something that you've been thinking about, and all of a sudden the right situation shows up to really make this happen for you, and then you'll see things play out over the course of the year. Mars is making a square to this moon from your 12th house, so I think you're going to be holding back frustration, passion, conflict. This is an area where you might be biting your tongue to create something a little more easygoing around this time because of the Libra easygoing aspect. Mars in your 12th house just gets a bit dampened, or you could be experiencing more passion behind the scenes. You could be experiencing some subconscious downloads and really quick, sudden breakthroughs of the subconscious and psychic activity. This could have to do with faraway places and retreat and escape from the world. You might be feeling motivated to escape or dissociate and just take a break. Mars, though, can have some of these more frustrating, agitated qualities. It's getting a beautiful trine from Venus and Saturn. So this energy does have some softening and protection to it. Saturn is in your 8th house. So I think that work that you've been doing on your psyche and subconscious, the structuring and the release and the attention that that part of your chart has been getting is supporting this Mars activity in your 12th house. So it's allowing you to really control your subconscious behavior, or you're just becoming more aware of it and you're still in that dance of managing what your impulses are and what you actually say and express. This could also be support from another person, support from your partner financially, or a deepening of intimacy, potentially a blocking or restriction of intimacy. But again, because it has some lovely aspects right now, this might be a moment where you start to break through some of those blockages. Venus in your 4th house is a lovely energy to have alongside all of this other stuff. Your home is going to feel beautiful and pleasurable. There could be more romance at home. There could be positive feminine energy at home in some way. Some of this psychological transformation that you've been going through might be just beautifying your internal world, and that reflects in our home and how our home is presented. This is a wonderful time to have a new home come into your life, especially if it seems to come to you, not necessarily big action that you're doing. Of course, when you're looking for a home, you are looking, but I would say that this is something that just shows up and was really meant to be. And it could be a good time to put more decor and beautify your home in whatever way suits you, because this looks like a new you that's showing up, and the home is going to want to reflect that change of energy. We're coming up to some unexpected transformations in your work and day-to-day life as well. So there's a beautiful surprise from Uranus in your 10th house to Pluto in your 6th, just kind of finishing off that last bit of Pluto in Capricorn, which you can also check out my video link for that below. This is going to be a pleasant, unexpected surprise, and it's really radically changing your career. This has been going on for a while, so this is part of a bigger theme playing out over many, many years. But around this eclipse time, there is potential for something to shift there too. Beautiful energy for you as well, Leo. You have Jupiter in your 11th house that is healing some wounds when it comes to your perspectives of the world, and you're also expanding your networks and social circle too. So lots of great pieces to this story. If you would like more detail for your specific chart, check out my website link in the description below, and I do live Zoom calls to chat more about you. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having an amazing eclipse season. Let me know what's showing up for you in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Hi, Virgo. This is a second house solar eclipse for you. So this is a fated fresh start when it comes to your assets, your values, how you treat your body, what you spend your money on, the foods that you take in. There could be a fated shift that's happening in the things that really matter to you. Somebody that is a connection from a past life could come in and really supports these topics, really supports how you love yourself. And there's going to be more expression of what matters to you and your values. You're going to be sharing this more and talking about it in some form. Your ruler is Mercury. So on top of this extra urge to express your values and talk about it, you are really being strongly affected by the closeness of your ruler in this eclipse. So this has a feeling of a first house eclipse in some ways, which means that all aspects of who you are could be changing because of this enhancement of energy in what you value and how you take care of your body and the love that you have for yourself, the way that you use your energy and the finances that you have at your disposal. This beautiful grand trine is happening from the 11th house with Mars, the 7th house with Saturn, and 3rd house with Venus. So this is wonderful energy for writing and media. Venus here is all about communication, your daily mental activity, the words that you use. A bit of a redo here for you, Virgo. The video got messed up, so the grand trine for you really looks like beautiful communication, poetic. You're feeling inspired and creative and romantic with Venus here in your 3rd house. Mars in your 11th house could be expanding your audience, and the more verbally creative you are and poetic, the more people are listening, and the more it feeds you to continue this inspired work that you're doing, whether that's communication, media, writing, in any form. There's also this component from Saturn in your 7th house, and Saturn typically is quite restrictive. You may have been creating more boundaries around who you communicate with, and you may have been focusing more on restriction with significant other people in your life, maybe romantically, maybe business partner wise. This grand trine, though, I think is breaking through any boundaries that you have created. And the more that you fuel this beautiful communication, the more your audience grows, and the more you can bring this into significant partnerships and break down any boundaries or walls that you've created in that department. Jupiter is also in your 10th house, so this is really fitting that you are expanding the way that you're being seen. That is really reflective in this grand trine, that you're expanding your communication and audience, and therefore your visibility is expanding too. And that's healing some wounds that you might have had in your psyche or subconscious around expressing what you believe in and your values and sharing your energy. There's a lot of expansive energy here, Virgo. It's really benefiting your networks and your significant partnerships. And mostly it is really affecting your self-worth, your assets, and what you value. There is another factor here with the eclipse and the South Node in your 2nd house where you could be releasing belongings, releasing assets in some way. There could be a dissolving of assets or things that you used to value. That falls into that too. I hope that you're really enjoying this eclipse season, Virgo. There's so much going on for you, especially because your axis is being activated now too for the next couple of years. You can watch my video on the recent Pisces eclipse that we had on September 17th if you haven't seen that. And if you would like to book a live Zoom call reading with me to look at your personal chart and see how this is showing up individually for you, check out my website link below. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know how this is going for you in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Hi, Libra. This is the grand finale eclipse for you. So this is the last eclipse that's happening in your sign for quite some time, and it could be affecting so many aspects of your life. But this really has to do with you and the way that you present yourself to the world, the tools that you have to navigate life and move in the direction that you want to go in. This can be an eclipse that has to do with your body and your physical health as well when it's in the first house. There might be something that you are sacrificing for the sake of your partnership, for the sake of another person. And that growth in partnership, that balance of self versus other, is something that you are very good at balancing. And this is just a new level and a new way of relating in your significant partnerships. You are one of the signs that could have had a significant partner come in or out of your life, and this could be another layer of the story. Likely the new beginning part though. So if you have gone through relationship endings and losses because of the eclipses, this could be the time when you have a brand new beginning. And if you don't see it yet, just see how the year unfolds, because this has quite a long-lasting effect. The journey that you have been on has likely really beautified how you value yourself, how you spend your money, how you spend your energy, how you value your assets. And at the time of this eclipse, with Venus in your second house, you are really enjoying and reaping the rewards of that journey. This grand trine for you has to do with Saturn in your 6th house and Mars in your 10th house, and this Venus in your second. This is an energy where you could be focusing a lot on your career. You could be very passionate about your visibility and how you are seen in the world, making sure that you are seen for who you truly are. Your passions could just be getting recognized right now. People could be seeing you with this feisty, passionate energy. That's another way this could unfold. Saturn in your 6th house has been bringing transformation to your daily habits, the way that you do your day-to-day activities and your work. This is your work environment and routines throughout the day, the mundane things that we do. With Mars and Venus in beautiful aspect to this Saturn, I think this is a moment where the disciplinary action has been done. You might be going over some final details with Saturn retrograde there, but now you can break free of something that has been restricting your day-to-day activity. This is going to bring you more pleasure and recognition. This recognition could have a very positive effect on your self-worth, and it's related to work and career in some big way. Overall, Libra, this is about partnerships for you, significant people in your life. You have been healing wounds with others with Chiron in your 7th house, and you are really showing up with this eclipse as a whole new you. Alongside of this grand trine, you also have Jupiter in your 9th house, and this is sending lovely aspects to the moon and to Chiron in your 7th house that has to do with your perspective of the world changing. Maybe you're going to foreign places and meeting foreign people, and that is bringing new insight to you that's really helping your relationships. It's a very healing energy. So if you are doing higher learning of any kind, or you have a teacher coming into your life, maybe you do have a new mentor, and that is what has been benefiting your relationships throughout this eclipse season. And maybe the work that you've been doing with a mentor or your perspectives is the very ingredient that is helping you on this brand new journey with the solar eclipse in your sign. If you would like to process more of this with a live Zoom call reading with me, check out my website link in the description below. I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, commenting. Please let me know how this eclipse season, and especially this one, is showing up for you. And I will see you next time.